Hey friends, welcome to the Victor Marx podcast with Victor Marx, founder of All Things Possible Ministries. Welcome to the show where we bring you real conversations faced with life's hard truths, stories of redemption, and the latest from the front lines. Whether you're on the road, getting your day started, or finally settling in, we've got an exciting new episode planned for you. So let's dive into today's show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Victor Marx Show. This is a really special time because my guest today is going to be the first woman I ever kiss on video right in front of all of you. Why? Because this is my bride's sister, Kathleen. And not only sister, twin sister.
Twin sister.
And I've definitely been brother-in-law into this interview. Not true. My wife's sitting right back there going, you better not mess this up. I won't. I promise you. We've got the in-laws in here. There's so much pressure in studio today. But you guys, I'm excited. This is Kathleen Klug, and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, first of all, folks, I want to say this. I went through a rough spot. Actually, a couple times. You've known me since I was a young man, when I courted and married your sister. So you've seen all the ups and downs.
Yes.
Nothing hidden from you. And I want to say this publicly. Thank you for just always good counsel and support and love. Never, times you could have hacksawed me pretty good, but you didn't. And I appreciate that.
Thank you, Victor.
And yeah. Outside of Eileen, you're the closest person that I trust.
Thank you.
As a female, you truly are a sister. So I'm excited because you've helped me at one point in my life. I was just struggling with some things. And you really, for all you he-men, she was my life coach. I admit it, on national platform, international. But you really helped me. And I'm super... I can't take too much advice from Eileen. She's pushy. That's why we don't work out together too much. It's like, do one more. Yeah, but you're right not next to me saying one more rep, one more. We stopped that a long time ago. But Kathleen, you really helped me get through a tough spot in my life, health-wise, and when I needed encouragement. So that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to be able to share people with people that you actually put a book out.
I did.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because it's not an easy thing. First book. Mm-hmm. Was it easy?
It wasn't hard. You know why?
Why?
Because I started with one.
Oh my gosh. Bam! This is you're about to find out why this book is so good. So it's most people who do an undertaking book, they'll just say, oh my gosh, it was the hardest thing ever. To go from concept to work to edits to finish. You did this pretty fast. I was impressed because, we've done this. We have several books. And so here's my first question, because I want to build value and for people to understand why would they want to get this book. What's your background experience? I mean, you a shaman, priestess, or
No.
Former hit woman, assassin? What?
No,
Tell us.
Not that exciting. I have been, I started with Eileen, and we started in fitness together in our late teens. And thank goodness, I started teaching my career in the field of wellness and fitness and health at Jack LaLanne's gym.
I didn't even know that.
No, Eileen didn't know that either, but yes, I did. Yeah.
He's one of my heroes.
Oh, he was a pioneer in the field. He was way ahead of his time.
Anybody remember Jack LaLanne?
Of
He had the white
course.
German Shepherd. He'd wear the unitards. He would work out, so much energy. I love his saying, just a side note. He was so disciplined to get up early every morning.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite things. He goes, it's a cold morning and I'm laying next to a hot woman. but I got to get up and do my deal. He loved his wife.
Yes, Elaine, and she was a part of his message too. And so he really was a pioneer. So he had a gyms. A lot of people won't even know him now, but he was really a pioneer and ahead of his time. So I started there, like we're talking 40 years ago, which is amazing. And then I've evolved with as becoming doing group fitness of all different formats, personal training, and I did teacher training, and then went into integrative wellness. And in between all that, pursued my degree in addiction studies, which is all part of it. Nothing is wasted. Nothing that we do or nothing, all that education and experience, nothing is wasted. So it landed me. I did not have a book in me. Like I didn't say, oh, I have a book I've wanted to write on my life. I really felt like I got called to write this. So when you say, was it difficult? I think the difficult part was like, why me? What do I have to say? And so the journey was really discovering, what do I have to say that's different than anybody else? Or what's my voice? Yeah. So that was kind of my journey through, if you say, the difficult, yeah.
And that kind of what inspired the book? The inspiration behind it?
Well, I tell you what I figured out.
Okay.
Because once I was called to write a book, I knew it was on integrative wellness. And when I say integrative, I mean body, mind, spirit. I mean the idea that we are connected, body, mind, and spirit. And we do not separate ourselves. So when we have wellness in one area, it'll spill over to the other. When we have disease or disorder or illness in one area, it will also spill over. So I knew that was my message. And I didn't know what that looked like. But when I was really seeking to say, what is my voice in this? It was really about sharing this idea of our wholeness.
Well, I like what it says on the cover. Here is the book, my friends. And it's this, a simple approach to upgrade your health, body, mind, and spirit, which people are looking for today. There's been a lot of advancements in science, but then we've seen the bad aspect of poor leadership in our country, pushing false narratives about certain things, and people getting actually sicker and dying when we're like, what in the world is going on? So I like how this came out of that base of knowledge with all your experience and then what we just recently went through. People have to absolutely study and understand the problems, because if you just follow them blindly, bad things happen these days.
Yeah.
Now,
I want to share something.
Yeah.
I was just reading in the 1970s, chronic illness was about 7% of what we were looking at with illness. Today, it's about 70%. Chronic
this blows
illness.
my mind.
Yes.
Because I've heard that.
Yeah.
Why? When all the advancements, technology,
right,
everything, when we go to other countries, sometimes they're healthier than Americans.
I am not surprised.
We're like, what in the world this whole system seems to me, now including foods, it just pushes people toward not being well.
Yeah.
And the obesity rate, the mortality rate, even though that's going up, so anyway, I have to ask you, start with one. That's such another plug. Start with one. Why that? That's such a unique name for a book.
I tell you.
Or is it a mantra? Is it a creed?
I think it's all of those things in a way. I did not know. This was again kind of in seeking my book, and I counseled with a writing coach.
Okay.
And he gave me an exercise to do a mind map. And he says, write your central idea in the center of a page, and then do the branches, like what does that entail? So I knew my center was integrative health.
Okay.
So, and he said, draw and put colors on it. So I was coloring it, and I had family, and I had relationships, and I had work, and I had spirit, and I had food and home cooking and all these different things. And so we got together, and he said, share it with me. And I was saying, well, if you just like start like eating something, just, start by eating some fruits and vegetables, like just something really easy, or start by recycling or switching to glass, start with some quiet prayers of forgiveness. And he, as he was telling me kind of what he was hearing, he kept saying, start with one. And that's, I realized that's what I was saying. I was saying, start with one, because I know it can be overwhelming.
Right.
I work with people who are overwhelmed.
Right.
And I didn't know I was even saying that. I mean, I didn't recognize it. And he kind of made me aware that I was saying it. And so by the time we finished that the time together, I knew the name on my book.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, that really is a philosophy to live by.
Yeah.
So many people procrastinate, put stuff off until they just take that first step.
Yeah.
Now, how's a person going to benefit from reading this nice book, which I like it because I've read it and it's not too big.
Yes.
I don't like too biggy books. I like ones I can get through pretty easy. How are people going to benefit from this book?
Well, it is an easy read, which I'm glad it is. It's very, I think, accessible, and I think it's a very approachable book. Talk about going back to the integration. So when people want to get healthy, and in any area of their life,
right,
sometimes their approach is, I'm going to eat vegetables, but they don't understand the connection of their thinking, or their self put downs, or their lack of purpose, or that they're stuck in a bad relationship. Right. And then, this is just a reflection of all of that, right? Their poor eating, or emotions will have them going through the drive-through. So sometimes people will go, I'm just going to deal with my food. And they don't understand that all of this is driving
right,
the connection. So I'm hoping to inspire a couple things. The idea that we are integrated.
Right.
That what we do good in one area will reflect in the other areas. Yeah. But I also want people to understand that our behaviors are really filtered and fed through our thoughts, which really are driven by our beliefs. So it's kind of like going upstream. And, this is what the idea of functional medicine and stuff, it's like, oh, I'm going to give you a pill. No, why don't you go upstream and say, what's causing these issues? So I try to introduce these ideas, because if we have a belief about ourselves that we are less than, or we're not deserving, or we're unlovable, or we can't deal with things, or I'm this, or I'm this, is, then our thinking will follow that. And our thinking then leads into our emotions, right, that lead into our actions, that lead to our results.
Yes.
So that's why just doing it with our behavior, our physical behavior, is not really enough for sustainable change.
Right.
We need to go upstream and say, do I have to fix some thinking? Yeah. Do I put myself down all the time? Why am I in a terrible abusive relationship?
Right.
Why do I stay at a job that's sucking the life out of me? Because these are all just the downstream effects of it.
It's interesting. I think of a Bible scripture, the holy text, that says, as a man thinketh, so he is, or he becomes that. And my dad used to call it stinking thinking. And it does affect us. So I want to encourage people, this is a great resource to get. And what's the easiest way for them to get a copy of this?
Amazon. Okay. They can get on Amazon. Boom. Yeah. If they have, I do have an e-course out that has the courses and modules to go with the book.
Really?
Some people like to learn more visually or kind of be walked through, so I have some modules out.
Where can they find that?
Kathleen Klug book. kathleenklug.com.
Okay.
Yeah, or kathleenklug.com is my coaching site.
Now, are you, if someone wants to contact you for coaching like you did me, are you able to take a few people?
I'm doing groups now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they'll get the same benefit from it.
Oh, I think the group dynamic is so powerful.
Yeah.
It's such an effective way to participate, to show up, to get such a collaboration. You listen, you hear other people. It's a really powerful way to connect and make change, and also create support in your life.
Yeah, it's a force multiplier.
Yeah, right.
Now, this one of the last things I want to say, and this is truly a testament. You have you and your sister. Y'all both have excelled exceptionally, and people know by following Eileen and our story. But I'm telling those of you watching, there are some mindsets and principles and that are being taught in this book that are lived out by both my bride and her twin sister and another person in this room. She's in the back, and it's their mother. So their beautiful mom, the Irish woman in the back, is 89 and tenacious. It's, you guys come from such, and what I've realized, it's the mindset. We've had this conversation that if you need this, if you need some motivation or inspiration or some tenacity or to learn resilience, you need to get this book, because it's a time-tested principle brought to really an easy way to understand. And thank you for sharing this. Thank you for the labor of love.
Thank you.
As you said, really a calling to get that. So once again, how can they follow you on social media or your website?
Yeah, Kathleen Klug Health on Instagram, and I have also a Facebook page, and yeah, it's Kathleen Klug. I have it. But I want to just have one more note, kind of two more.
Give it to me.
Our mom modeled this for us. We're very fortunate to have a mom who modeled this. 8 kids.
Yes.
8 kids, okay? So she has modeled this for us. So yes, we were already at an advantage. So thank you, Mom. 2, the idea of information. We have information overload.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything unless you take action.
That's the truth.
So information without action is nothing. Yeah. So really, I hope to inspire people into action so they really can make change. And the thing about this change too, and this is a big part of my message, because there's a lot of behavior studies on change and habits, but there's lots of books out there.
Lots.
I felt we cannot speak about the work of change and the courage it takes to really kind of go upstream without grace and love.
Yeah.
It has to cover it, because we will fall, we will make mistakes. And for a lot of people who have tried before to do something, whatever they want to do, whether it's about health or really anything, and they mess up, and then, I don't think I can do this, and so there's the negativity. And if we can just have some grace on it and go, you know what, this is about learning. And instead of seeing our mistakes or our setbacks or our falls as something negative, these obstacles are here to grow us. Yeah. So I want people I know it's going to happen. It's inevitable. And everybody who really moves and has a desire to grow, they will fall. As long as they get up and cover it with grace. That's my message.
Hear her heart, and that's really is what comes through with this book. What a gift. Now, you have to answer 2 questions. Okay. Every first-time guest on the show answers 2 questions. Okay. The first one's kind of a cheater because it's because you know it so well. But the first question is, what is people live by perceptions of others. Facts versus just assumption. But what is your perception? I think people would be interested to hear about who Eileen and I are and what we do. How would you communicate that?
Well, wrote a note to you, and I said, and I mean this, you guys are examples of living God's leading in your life.
Wow.
And that's what we're here to do.
Wow.
Right?
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I've never heard it explained.
It's very
like that.
powerful. I mean, I will tell you, it's very powerful in my perception to be one who is courageously living God's leading. Right? So, and then you two model that.
Wow.
So that's
and
that's not just perception. I know it.
Oh.
So I'm just telling you. Okay.
Wow. Love that. Thank you.
What's
for
the next
that.
question?
The next question is, we all die. I go right to the mortality. We're all gonna die. Normally I'd say, well, Mom or Bill, y'all may be next up because of your age, but yet my brother just passed away. So it's not necessarily about age, but the one thing is nobody gets out of this alive. For Kathleen, what happens to you when you close your eyes for the last time?
Oh, that's when I start living.
Whoa. Why do you believe that? I
am so grateful for my faith that I can stand and say, I'm a Christian. I believe in glory with a capital G.
Wow.
And I love my life. I really do love my life here. But you know what? I'm going to love my other life even more. I mean, how can we imagine? We cannot imagine, right?
Right.
So we will all be in glory together one day, and hallelujah, and we'll do what we can here on this side, and it'll be wonderful, but nothing like being in glory with God.
It sounds like you, Eileen. This is how Eileen talks, with such great enthusiasm for heaven, and when we've had hard times, I've asked her, how do you put up with me? She's like, because I know heaven is soon.
I think it's really,
yeah.
I mean, in this crazy world, and I feel, I don't know if it's through age and just maturity and wisdom, thank God, right? We get this with age, is that this world is just less and less real to me.
Yeah.
As the other one gets more real.
I believe that.
Yeah.
But we need tools to occupy and do the best we can while we're here.
Yeah.
Thank you for your book. I want to encourage people, get a copy of Start With One, Kathleen Klug, and we start out by, I give you a kiss. Can I get a little kiss? Oh, look, what in the world? Wow, just for those of you who didn't see that, I kissed her on her cheek. She just put a smacker.
Setup, man.
She just put a smacker on my lips. Okay, well, we'll end with that note.
Yeah.
God bless you guys. Until next time.
Bye.
Make sure, do the best you can. Get her done.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode. We'd love to stay connected with you and invite you to the conversation beyond this podcast. You can check out more of the work we're doing around the world at victormarx.com, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all linked in the show notes. Be sure to drop us a comment in the review section if today's show has impacted you in any way, or if there's anything you'd like to hear more of. We're always encouraged to hear from you. Thanks for spending your time with us. Until next time.